because of its geological characteristics. There are a number of reservoirs of underground water. Even you have a spring next to the hospital on the basis of the hill, which still has running water, and it is especially important, may be used as technical waters in cases of emergency. And of course, it is very significant for recreation, outdoor activities, nature studies, and including the sports which are sport which is not popular in Serbia, but very much in Scandinavia, landlauf, or running on skis. It's ideal in winter because you don't need a thick layer of snow for landlauf. Now this is what will happen is that this part of the forest is supposed to be turned into a building site, and that's the slide which I showed to you with that beautiful green forest cover. All that, over 1,000 trees, would be felled, supposed to widen the space for the hospital, which is here. But according to even doctors who work in the hospital, there is enough space inside the hospital grounds for building up extra stories or even building new buildings beside the existing ones. Also, behind here, there are building sites which have been turned into buildings for over 20 years, including a huge land space where about 20 years ago was supposed to be the so-called Silicon Valley of Serbia, proposed by the Pupin Institute, which is in part of this forest. This building construction is only, they only have a metal construction, and for 20 years nothing has happened there. Inside the forest you have the astronomy observatory, which has its own large piece of land, largely covered by trees, where a lot of owls nest. And this part belongs to the military, the army, with some barracks and a lot of trees in this part also. There was a plan to turn this military land into a building site, maybe for apartments for the military personnel. But this is not clear yet. And the church also, unfortunately, has a plan to build a church somewhere in this part here. Even if they don't allow it here, they want to build it around here, called Belgrade, which is the central recreation part of the ZvezdaraForest. I must say, unfortunately, that the church, although it should be modest and so sometimes seeks too much power, which is also illegal. So you have in Krsmanovića, which has been proclaimed an ornithological reserve, a park also close to the center of Belgrade, the church took a piece of land illegally, and the Institute for Nature Protection asked them at least not to ring the bells because of the birds, but they just didn't take that into account. Recently, you will see in November, there was an illegal action by a contractor who came into this part of the forest and cut down 60 trees, over 60 years old, and you will see that later, what happened. Now, this is the picture of the forest, and this is what should be cut down in the future. There is even this here part in the forest is a kindergarten, which is very nice. It has a small sports ground, but what they have in plans is to build there a swimming pool, which is so inappropriate because right here you have the big sports center Olim, which has three swimming pools. And of course, when you build a swimming pool, you have to cut down all the trees around to avoid the leaves falling into the water. This is what happened in November when the contractor came into the forest, felled down 60 trees. Now, he said he had some permission and papers, but actually the citizens living around called our group of citizens, who are not registered yet as official non-government group. We call ourselves ZvezdaraForest. They called us to say that someone started to construct buildings here, and we called the inspectors of Zelene, the municipal park company, the inspector of the Secretariat for Environment of Belgrade, and also the forestry inspector. And they came and they said they will file a charge against him because he did not have the permission to turn forest land, officially forest land, into construction, building land. What will happen next, I don't know, but it is very curious that the citizens must take care of the forest, and unless the citizens reacted, the inspector probably wouldn't even know what's happening. I must say that, as I said, the entire Serbian environment is under attack. We have the case of Stara Planina, which, although Stara Planina was proclaimed a national park, actually a park of nature, 2 years ago the constructions of ski lifts started. There was great pressure on the Institute for Nature Protection to allow all these construction works, and last year even the previous director of the Institute was actually chased away from the position because she didn't want to sign some documents which would allow all this construction. Other parts of Serbia which are